Hey everyone, this is lorcanatheo. Welcome back to my channel. Today we have a very special and very enchanted guest with us. It is the one, the only, Enchanted Kim. Kim, welcome to the channel.
Thanks for having me. I feel like this collab has been in the making forever.
Absolutely. And Kim, we are so excited to have you here with us today to talk about a unique Princess Infinity focused deck list, specifically our own brew of Amber Amethyst, Princesses and Dwarves that we cooked up and tested together. Not only is this a princess list though, which is our specialty, but it's also a list that hasn't really been talked about much online. So it has the potential to be a kind of a sleeper or surprise deck in the format, which is really cool because it's such exciting combos and playlines that can really blow out and win games. So without further ado, let's get into our Infinity deck list. This is Amber Amethyst, Princesses and Dwarves.
Awesome. So the main idea of this list is to play out princesses and dwarf characters using cards such as Aurora Holding Court and Snow White Unexpected House Guest. Additionally, we have players in the deck such as Cinderella, my favorite, who can sing the song Akuta Moody as early as turn 2 to cheat out bigger characters such as the 4-cost Duck or 4-cost Dale.
Kim, we know you love Cinderella, but we also have to talk about the new Snow White Merry as the Morning, which came out this set to help us bounce our dwarf characters back to our hand for additional card draw, alongside being such a menace to the board, as when she's banished during a challenge, rather than going to the discard, she actually comes back to our hand to be used as either ink or to be played out again in a future turn.
So true, Theo. Snow White is one of the reasons this deck is so powerful and absolutely girly pop. We love to see new princesses entering the meta. Also, let's talk about the new Dale ready for a shot. He makes all of our characters deal damage with their willpower rather than their strength.
Plus, this deck is also filled with plenty of card draw and new flavors such as Sleepy, Doc, Snow White, and Demona.
And don't forget the classics, such as Friends on the Other Side, and of course, the OG girly pop,
Rapunzel. Oh my goodness. This deck really just wants to flood the board with bigger characters as fast as possible. As such, we have cards like Aurora, Holding Court, Snow White, Unexpected House Guest, and Akuta Moody, all allowing us to cheat out our higher cost characters such as Princess and Bashful for less ink.
Now we know this is Infinity format, so we'll definitely have to fight back against board removal, which is why we added 4 Mowgli to the deck to help us snipe those non-character cards such as Under the Sea and be prepared from our opponents.
And remember, Kim, how when we were playtesting, we noticed just how much Amber really struggles with having such low strength characters. However, Dale really flips this script, making our princesses and dwarf characters fight back stronger than ever. Who knew Rapunzel would one day challenge for 5? Also, let's not forget Snow White, Unexpected House Guest from set 2. In Infinity, she really has her moment to shine as she synergizes so well with the new dwarf characters.
Totally. You can play out the Snow White, allowing all of your sleepies to be played on the same turn for free, which then replaces themselves as they get banished to refill your hand.
Wow, that really reminds me of Grandmother Willow.
But unlike Grandmother Willow, Snow White's ability isn't limited to once per turn.
Awesome. And because this is a princess deck, it makes it much more exciting to play out Rapunzel, Gleam and Glow as well, allowing us to heal damage from our characters and drawing 3 cards while doing so.
Now, when it comes to removal, we already knew Elsa lives up to her queen title. When she enters play, she can exert an opposing character and challenge right away. And with Dale by her side, she is now challenging for 5, which can often be game-changing.
And even alongside Elsa, actually, Bashful is such a beefy character too, keeping opposing evasives in check. As a 3/6 stat line, he's already tough to deal with, but with Dale makes him even stronger and makes the stat line even scarier, transforming him into a 6/6.
Demona can also enter the board early with a Cood, allowing us to fight back the board if needed. She can also help us refill our hand since we play so many additional characters through Snow White, Akuta Moody, and Aurora. She also serves as a great finisher, being a 5/6 body that quests for 2 to help us get to that 20 lore.
And speaking of getting to 20 lore, Sneezy Gesundheit,
Oh my gosh, bless you.
thank you, is just the perfect dwarf for the job. By playing this character, we can give another one of our characters an additional lore to quest the 20.
The early strategy of this deck is making the princesses the star of the show. You can either prioritize playing Cinderella on turn 1 to then sing a Kuda Moody on turn 2 for additional card draw and to play another character for 2 less ink.
Or you can play Aurora holding court to play a 2-drop character such as Happy, Snow White, or Mowgli on turn 2 alongside an additional 1-cost princess like Cinderella or even another Aurora. It seems pretty fantastic.
And lucky for you, we have a bonus combo line to try out. Playing Aurora and questing into Snow White, Unexpected House Guest, alongside Happy and Sleepy, all as early as turn 2.
Wow, what a great way to go wide. The mid game, however, is also super strong because of Dale, Elsa, and of course Rapunzel, and even the late game with Demona to help us stabilize the board if necessary, alongside our Sneezy, who can help us achieve that additional lore to really get to that 20 lore finish line.
Now let's dive into potential matchups for this Princess Dwarf deck. Into Amber Steel Song, it is always great to see Mowgli early to nab an unwanted action or song.
Mowgli is also putting in the work to help us mid to late game against Dogs, Sapphire Ruby, Sapphire Emerald, or even Amethyst Ruby as they begin to be prepared for a potential board wipe.
As for the evasives, no sweat. Bashful and Elsa can go toe-to-toe into opposing evasive decks, especially with the support of their new bestie, Dale.
Kim, can I just say this deck is such an exciting deck. It's such a slay. Truly a deck that surprises your opponent with so many exciting synergies and ways to introduce the princesses and dwarves earlier than ever to the board. It's definitely worth shooting your shot to bring this deck to honestly your next Infinity tournament or even your Infinity locals. Kim, that's the end of our video. However, before we sign off, we would love to know where can we find you on social media?
Well, if you love girly pop Disney Lorcana content, you can find me primarily on Instagram at enchanted_Kim_. And then you can also find me on TikTok, X, and YouTube.
And you can also find me at lorcanatheo on all of the above socials as well. We will have our links in the bio below. Remember to like and subscribe, and we cannot wait to see you again next time. Peace.